This is an amazing building. This is the dome, and the tour is going to begin. You can see.
2 o'clock tour, right over here, please. If you're interested, come on over. Up here on this second floor level, which are found in each of the 4 wings, because the building is a cruciform. And each one of these rooms has a beautiful stained glass skylight in it, of different shape, size, color, but all a part of the architect's idea to use as much natural daylight as possible. George Post was the architect. He also designed the New York Stock Exchange building, and he was one of the first to think about using the free stuff. And to this day, it cuts down on the consumption of energy. This room was built originally for the railroad commissioners to meet in. That was a huge industry back in the day. But it's also how they came up with the $7.25 million it took to build the Capitol and its power plant. For the most part, they taxed the railroads. Justices may go no further as far as state law is concerned. So some people call this the court of last resort. It's their last chance. And it's an appellate court, so nobody's on trial. They don't determine innocence or guilt, but they choose cases that have already been heard in a lower court system, but have ended in some really important and complex legal question that only our 7 justices can answer. 6 of the 7 are women,
Woohoo!
which is very unique. No other state in the nation has that particular ratio. We have 33 state senators, and when they meet in here, it is low-tech, old-fashioned, very formal. It's always been that way and continues in this very, very traditional vein. Hardly any laptops are found. Most everything is still in paper, written form. Their only technology per se is what's on their desks, and that's just part of the sound system, so they speak into microphones. And I wish I had something really exciting to say about that bright red button. It looks so important, so compelling, like it's an ejection device or something. Well, the truth is, it lights up when the mic is on and it's off when the mic is off. That's it. I know. Why so bright red? When they vote on bills that may or may not become state law down the line, they do it by voice roll call system. So the chief clerk from this first podium calls on each senator by name. They respond by saying aye for yes or nay for no. Again, a very old and formal way of doing that. So that's the gist of how it all works in here. He's from the Atlantic, marrying a woman representing Oceania, Pacific. The woman above represents all of the Americas, North, Central, and South, and then the United States, right there in the foreground, but painted as little babies, because that's the artist's way of saying we're a very young nation compared to the rest of the world. Though I do think he took some liberties here with adding muscle and attitude. I don't know. On the right side, Goddess of Peace is inviting some of the Atlantic nations. There's France, Germany, and Great Britain, and she's offering them an olive branch for peace because of World War I. On the other side, the god of commerce, also known as Hermes or Mercury, he is inviting the Pacific nations of Japan, China, the Middle East, and the Polynesian Islands.
up on the observation deck, and as you can see most of Madison. Look here. Beautiful day. It's about 61 degrees outside. Close to the dome.
Closer to the dome.
Looking down. This is the Octagon Center. So starting with the north gallery, we have side 1, side 2, side 3, side 4, side 5, side 6, side 7, and side 8. What an amazing capitol with the octagon in the center and then cross beams for the different assembly rooms. This is downtown Delafield, and I'm heading to a local brewery for a bluegrass jam. Isn't it pretty?
This is our historic brew house. Construction began on that building in 1886. Our founder, Frederick Miller, was involved in every aspect of the design. It had 2 brew kettles with a capacity of 425 beer barrels. Now, unfortunately, Frederick Miller passed away in 1888 at the age of 63, just 1 month before the first beer was produced out of that building. Now, do you guys see that star right up there above Frederick Miller's name? That is a brewmaster star, and it is a symbol of purity that dates all the way back to the 14th century. The 6 points of the star represent all of the ingredients in beer. So that's going to be water, malt, hops, yeast, barley, and the skill of a brewer being number 6. Brewery. So first we will steep the barley in water for 24 to 48 hours. And then we're going to give it some time to germinate. We actually want it to start growing again. And then finally we're going to kiln it. So we're going to cook it. The longer that you kiln barley for, the darker a beer you are going to get, like this one right here. He's bringing a lot of beer on that trip. So he was wandering around the woods, trying to find his way out. Eventually he got tired, sat down against a tree, and fell asleep. In his dream, he saw a girl in the moon pointing in a certain direction. So when he woke up, he decided to follow that. Eventually, he came upon a small town where they gave him food and shelter. So when he got back to Milwaukee, he thought of her as his guardian angel. So he decided to put her onto all of the highlight bottles, and that's where she's been ever since. Structure that we are standing in today. It had a rooftop beer garden. There were billiards tables on the second floor, and down this hallway that we just walked down, there used to be 2 bowling alleys. Keg line. So bring our daily total up to about 600,000 cases a day. That's going to be about 9 million beer barrels annually. So I am So we can hold about 900,000 cases of beer in here. But what's even more impressive is the beer you see in front of you will be gone within the next 24 to 36 hours. Now we should.
Point here to here is 202 feet. And we have two domes. There's a dome that you see, and there's a dome that goes over it, like an umbrella. Since I'm Polish, a mushroom, okay? We're talking about, so there you go. Just like St. Peter's in Rome. So when the priest talked to that architect, once it's a basilica, it's always a basilica. So when this church was raised to basilica status in 1929, the ground was blessed. This building was blessed. Look at that crucifix. You see that marble cross? They're all throughout the church. Yeah, there are 12 of them. And that's where each part of this church was blessed. So this will always be a basilica, okay? Can't, like you see churches that haven't done well, their populations have changed. They're like libraries. They could be a theater. They could be an office. That could never happen here.
Here we go, a song called Everywhere You Go, Sunshine and OT.